Your dog loses it every time someone walks past your house. A stranger knocks on the door, and suddenly you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, and honestly, a little stressed. Sound familiar? You're not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. But today, everything changes. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found this channel. We talk about real dog behavior, real solutions, and real love for our dogs. And today we're diving deep into one of the most common problems dog owners face: excessive barking at people, strangers, and guests. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your dog does this, and you'll have a step-by-step plan to fix it. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about something most people skip over. They jump straight to, "How do I stop it?" without asking, "Why is my dog doing this?" And that's actually the wrong move. Because once you understand the why, the how becomes so much clearer. Your dog is not barking to be a troublemaker. Your dog is not barking because he hates people. Your dog is barking because something inside him is saying, "I need to react to this." That reaction could come from fear. It could come from excitement. It could come from a protective instinct. Or it could be something he learned works. Like barking makes the mailman go away. So now he thinks barking is the reason the mailman leaves. Smart, right? But not exactly what you want. Here's the thing. Dogs are emotional beings. They feel things just like we do. And when a dog barks at a stranger, what they're often feeling is uncertainty. Who is this person? Are they safe? Should I be worried? They don't have words. They have barking. So that bark is their way of saying, "I'm not sure about this, and I'm going to let everyone know." So the very first step, before you do anything else, is to figure out what kind of barking you're dealing with. This matters because the solution for a fearful dog is very different from the solution for an excited dog. A fearful dog might bark, back away, tuck his tail, or hide. He's saying, "I'm scared of that person." An excited dog might bark while jumping, wagging his tail like crazy, and trying to get closer to the person. He's saying, "I want to play so bad right now." A protective or territorial dog might bark loudly at the window or door, standing tall, stiff, ears up. He's saying, "This is my house. I'm on guard." And then there's the learned barker, the dog who figured out that barking gets him what he wants, like attention or making a threat go away. Take a moment to think about your dog. Which one sounds most like him? Because once you know, you can really start to make a difference. Now let's get into the actual steps. These work. But I want to be honest with you. They take consistency. You can't do this once and expect magic. Dogs learn through repetition. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll see results. Step 1. Stop yelling "No" at your dog when he barks. I know it feels natural. He's barking loudly, so you match his energy and yell back. But here's what your dog actually hears. His human is barking too. You're joining in. You're confirming that yes, this is something to bark about. It makes the barking worse. Instead, stay calm. Take a breath. Your calm energy sends a signal to your dog that says, "I'm not worried. This isn't a threat." Dogs look to us constantly for information about how to feel. When you're calm, it gives your dog a chance to calm down too. Step 2. Teach your dog a quiet command. But, and this is important, Do not try to teach this while your dog is already in full bark mode. That's like trying to teach someone math when they're mid-panic attack. It won't land. Instead, catch your dog when he's just starting to bark, or do short control practice sessions. Here's how to do it. When your dog barks, say, "Quiet," in a firm but calm voice, just once. Then immediately hold a treat in front of his nose. Most dogs stop barking to sniff the treat. The second he goes quiet, even just for 2 seconds, say, "Yes," or click if you use a clicker, and give him the treat. You're not rewarding the barking. You're rewarding the moment of silence. Over time, you extend that quiet moment longer and longer. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, then a full minute. Then, quiet becomes a word your dog actually understands and responds to. Step 3. This one is a game changer for dogs that bark at strangers outside or through the window. It's called desensitization and counter-conditioning. Don't let that term scare you. It's just a fancy way of saying, help your dog feel differently about the thing that triggers him. Here's the simple version. You expose your dog to the trigger, a person walking by, for example, but at a distance where your dog notices them but doesn't flip out. That distance where he sees the stranger and goes, "HM, what's that?" instead of, "Red alert, enemy approaching." That's your starting point. At that exact moment, the moment he sees the stranger, you give him a high-value treat. Something amazing. Not the regular dry kibble. We're talking real chicken, cheese, something that makes his eyes go wide. You're teaching his brain to make a new connection. Stranger equals amazing treat. Not stranger equals threat. Not stranger equals danger. Stranger equals, oh, I love when strangers show up because something wonderful always happens. Over time you move closer, little by little, always keeping him under that threshold where he loses his mind. Always pairing the sight of a stranger with something amazing. This process takes weeks, sometimes not days. But it works. It literally rewires how the dog's brain responds to strangers. Step 4. For dogs that bark at guests inside your home, you need to create a routine around visitors. Right now, your dog probably has a pattern too. He hears the doorbell. He goes absolutely wild. The door opens. Chaos. You need to interrupt that pattern. Start by teaching your dog what to do when guests arrive, instead of just telling him what not to do. Pick a spot. Maybe it's his bed. Maybe it's a mat near the couch. Practice sending him there and rewarding him for staying. Do this when there's no doorbell, no guests, no stress. Just you, your dog, and a whole lot of treats. Then, when someone knocks or rings the bell, instead of opening the door immediately, give your dog a moment. Ask him to go to his spot. Reward him for doing it. Then open the door calmly. When guests come in, ask them to completely ignore the dog at first. No eye contact, no talking, no reaching out to pet him. This might feel weird to your guests, but it's important. When the dog is calm, and he will eventually be calm, then the guests can quietly greet him. Dogs calm down much faster when they're not being flooded with attention during a high-energy moment. And once your dog learns that guests coming in doesn't mean the world is ending, he'll start relaxing on his own. Step 5. Exercise is not optional. I can't say this enough. A tired dog is a calmer dog. A dog who has gotten a good walk, some playtime, some mental stimulation, that dog has a much lower threshold for reacting to triggers. A dog who's been sitting inside all day with pent-up energy? That dog is a ticking time bomb when the doorbell rings. If your dog barks a lot, look at his daily exercise and mental stimulation. Is he getting enough? Try puzzle feeders, sniff walks where you let him stop and smell everything, training sessions that work his brain, fetch, tug, whatever he loves. Even 20 minutes of focused activity can make a noticeable difference in his overall calmness. Step 6. Be patient with your fearful dog. This one is close to my heart. If your dog barks because he's scared of people, the worst thing you can do is force him into situations that overwhelm him. Don't let people rush up to pet him when he's clearly uncomfortable. Don't push him to just get over it. Fear doesn't work that way. Give your dog the time and space he needs. Let him approach new people on his own terms. Ask visitors not to reach for him unless he comes to them first. Celebrate every tiny step of bravery. Did he sniff a guest's hand without barking? Huge win. Did he stay in the same room as a stranger for 5 minutes? Amazing. Every small victory is a building block toward a more confident, happier dog. And here's something really powerful. When your dog sees that you're relaxed and comfortable with a person, it reassures him. Your behavior is information to your dog. You are your dog's guide to the world. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what if my dog is really extreme? What if nothing seems to work? First, be patient. Real behavioral change doesn't happen in a week. But if you've been consistent for several weeks and you're seeing no improvement, or if your dog's barking is connected to serious aggression, it's time to bring in a professional. A certified dog trainer or a veterinary behaviorist can make a world of difference. There's no shame in asking for help. The best dog parents know when they need backup. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you of something. Your dog loves you more than words can say. He barks because he feels something deeply. Your job isn't to silence him. It's to help him feel safe enough that he doesn't need to bark. That's the heart of everything we talked about today. Identify the type of barking. Stay calm. Teach. Quiet. Desensitize to strangers. Create a guest routine. Make sure he's getting enough exercise. And be a patient, understanding guide for your dog every single day. You have what it takes to do this. Your dog is lucky to have someone who cares enough to learn. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help this channel grow and reach more dog lovers who need this information. Drop a comment below and tell me, what does your dog bark at the most? I read every single comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now, because we put out new dog behavior content every single week that you do not want to miss. We'll see you in the next one.